every society in history has been shaped by its economic systems, arguably more so than by its kings, its gods, or its armies. Which cities rise and fall, which cultures spread their influence, and even which languages we speak today are all determined by the flow of money and goods. But many world builders handwave or gloss over the financial aspects of their settings, and they miss out on a powerful element that makes for a much richer world, pun intended. But that's not going to happen to you, because if you're world building a world, whether for games or stories or just personal enjoyment, understanding its economics provides great hooks for conflict and story and drama, and it elevates the realism of your world too. I'm Janet from World Anvil, a professional world builder, a published author, and a game writer, and I've analysed fictional economies in fantasy and sci-fi and everything in between, so you don't have to. Today I'll show you how to use trade systems to create more dynamic, exciting worlds with a minimum of math. Trade routes have created more languages than conquests. Isn't that cool? Imagine two merchant caravans meeting at an oasis. They don't share a language, but they need to exchange goods. Over time, they develop a pidgin language, a simplified hybrid of both tongues. Children grow up hearing this market language, and within a generation, a new Creole language emerges. This isn't just theory. It's exactly how many real-world languages formed along the ancient Silk Road. Markets didn't just move silk and spices, they transported ideas, technologies, and beliefs across continents. Buddhism spread to China, not through conquest, but through merchant routes. Arabic numerals reached Europe through trade networks, revolutionizing mathematics. The key to creating authentic cultural exchange in your world is to first establish your trade networks. Who trades with whom? What routes do they take? What goods are exchanged? Answer these questions and you'll naturally develop richer and more connected cultures. Creating merchant guilds and trading houses that drive these exchanges is easier with World Anvil's organization template. It's a good idea as you build your organizations to map their influence, track their rivalries, and show how they shape their broader societies. It sounds crazy, but money isn't real. Currency is just a story that we all agree to believe in. A dollar bill or a euro note is just paper. Its value only exists because we collectively agree it has value. Throughout history, humans have used everything from cowrie shells and giant stone wheels to digital tokens as money. The Yap Islanders used massive limestone discs as currency, some so large they couldn't be moved and were transferred in ownership symbolically. The Aztecs used cacao beans, the main ingredient in chocolate. I hope they didn't get snacky. In prison systems, cigarettes often become currency, regardless of whether people smoke or not. So why do we care? Well, a society reveals its values and resources through what it chooses as money. A technological civilization might use energy credits or replicator rations, like on Star Trek's Voyager. A society obsessed with knowledge might use data or juicy secrets as currency. And the Fae folk are notorious for trading in promises and favours. With World Anvil's item template, you can create your currencies to reflect your world's unique values. Is magic rare and valuable? Perhaps spell components are currency. Is your society built on honour? Maybe debts are tracked through ritual scarification or tattoos or beads. What's the most interesting currency system you've seen in fiction? Drop it in the comments. I love to hear your favourites. Black markets are where demand meets taboo, and often taxes. So if you want to know what people really value, look at what they smuggle. During Prohibition in the United States, alcohol became the centre of a massive black market, creating organised crime as we know it today. In the Soviet Union, blue jeans and rock records were smuggled and traded at premium prices. The latter sometimes printed as bootlegs on old X-rays. Just really cool, right? Or think about those dodgy cyberpunk settings where everything, and I mean everything, is for sale. Black markets emerge whenever official systems fail to meet demand. They often reveal the gap between what society claims to value and what its people actually desire. In your world building, ask yourself, what does my society prohibit? What do people want anyway? And who provides these forbidden goods? A theocracy might ban certain books, creating a thriving underground book trade. A society with rigid class structures might have black markets for noble clothing or accessories. A world with regulated magic might have illicit spell traders offering forbidden enchantments. These forbidden economies add depth and a lot of story potential to your world, whilst also revealing deeper truths about what people value. Did you know that banks have overthrown more governments than armies? In Renaissance Italy, Banking families like the Medicis wielded more power than monarchs. They financed wars, influenced papal elections, and transformed Florence into a cultural centre. Their economic power translated directly into political and cultural influence. Economic institutions are power players in their own right. Merchant guilds, banking houses, and trading companies can shape politics, wage proxy wars, and transform societies without ever raising an army. Consider the British East India Company, a trading corporation that effectively conquered and ruled much of India with its private army and administrative system. In your world, don't just create kings and councils, create economic powers that influence them. A merchant consortium controlling trade of rare starship components. A Knights Templar style order holding royal debts. A guild that monopolizes magical education. It's not just cyberpunk settings that have powerful corporations, and these economic entities create natural conflicts and power dynamics that drive compelling stories. But what if your world is post-scarcity? Well, even unlimited resources create scarcity of something else. Imagine a science fiction utopia where nanomachines can create any physical object. Food, shelter, and basic goods are available to all. Post-scarcity achieved, right? Well, not quite. Humans always create new forms of value. Perhaps original art becomes the new currency, things made by human hands rather than machines. Maybe attention becomes the scarce resource, with influence measured by how many people choose to engage with your ideas. Imagine a platform where that happened. Even Star Trek, with its replicators and post-money society, shows characters competing for prestige, recognition, and command positions. There's still scarcity, it's just shifted to different resources. In your world building, post-scarcity isn't the absence of economic systems. It's a deliberate choice about which resources remain scarce. Is it time, creativity, social connection, or political influence? These choices create meaningful character moments and conflicts even in the most utopian of settings. Because after all, economics isn't just about numbers and math. It's about human desires and values. When you understand how trade and money shape societies, you create worlds with authentic cultures, compelling conflicts, and dynamic change. Remember, start with trade routes when developing cultural connections. Create currencies that reflect your world's values and resources. Use black markets to reveal hidden desires. And establish economic powers as key players. And, for post-scarcity worlds, decide what people still strive for and value. Want to learn more about how competition shapes civilization? Check out our interview with Murderbot's Martha Wells on how to world build factions. And why not subscribe for more practical advice on world building, writing, and game mastery. Now, grab your hammer and go world build.